political discussion. Okay, so there are many news that is surfacing now, and one news that is I believe everyone is knowing that finally the big beautiful bill in the United States that was set to pass the House of Representatives that had already passed the Senate, that is the upper house, and it was set to pass the House of Representatives, that is the lower chamber in the Congress in United States. Congress is exact match to the Parliament in India. Upper house, lower house here. There it is upper chamber and lower chamber. So upper chamber being the Senate and lower chamber being the House of Representatives. So there in the House of Representatives, finally the big beautiful bill is passed. I believe 218 to 214. 14. With four votes difference, that bill got passed, and it will come to President of United States for the sign, for the signature. But anyway, it is set to pass by 4th of the July. Today is 4th of the July, so more or less this bill is passed. Okay, so what about there in the United States? That is internal matter to the United States. But the bill is introducing high monetary funding to the military. That is a matter of concern to the people around the globe. So to the people around the globe, the kind of $150 billion that is added in the fund, $150 billion is added in the kind of military fund, that is a matter of concern, that people are seeing at a matter of concern as far as global scenario is concerned. As far as global scenario is concerned, $150 billion that is added to the military funding of America, that is matter of concern. The border security, their money has been added, the fund has been added, that is matter of concern for the world, because border security means the kind of the people who are entering into America illegally, then it will be more trouble to them. More or less, it looks like that it is a tolerance for the foreigners in America. It is by American government. I'm not saying the local people, but tolerance for the foreign people in United States, it is becoming intolerable now. So that is a matter of concern for the outsiders. That is the second point. And then in the kind of in detention camp in the kind of detention camp where the illegal immigrants are kept, 100,000 beds are increasing there. So that is a matter of concern. Anyway, so these are the scenario that is bringing a kind of think people to think that what will happen to their near and dear if they are staying in America, and more or less they do not have visa has expired or whatsoever, because the problem is for 40 million Americans, 40 million people who are living in America, their fate, their future, if 40 million people who are right now they are staying in America without any valid visa or without any paper anyway. So that is the big beautiful bill. It is how much it is pro-American, that has to be seen, but certainly it is not pro-immigrants. That is for sure. People who have valid visa and they are staying there, I don't know how much they would be happy, because everyone visa has to expire and then that has to be renewed. Earlier, if renewal is happening late manner also, there was no problem, because this much drive for kind of deportation, at least I have never seen in America that this much deportation drive has happened. Anyway, this is the news number one. News number two is now Donald Trump is free now. In he free in the sense that whatever he wanted, it happened. Means deportees, now it has become a law that deportees has to be kicked out from the America. In bad word, all deportees who are living in America, by law they will be taken out. That is for sure now. No one can go to the court now, more or less. Second is that Russia has intensified attack on the Ukraine. Russia near point, Russia and Ukraine, if someone see the border, I believe northeast of the Ukraine, there is a place called Sumy. And 2 days back, Today is Friday. 3 days back, Russia had put 50,000 soldiers in the Sumy. Russia has pushed 50,000 soldiers in the Sumy. Sumy is a small region in Ukraine. In that 50,000 soldiers, I believe 5,000 drone attack Russia is making in the Sumy. Miss any moment Russia can capture the Sumy region of the Ukraine. Russia had already captured Crimea and then Luhansk, and there are other regions also that Russia has captured. More or less, it is called that 20% of the Ukraine is captured by the Russia. Russia is claiming that Russia has put army inside the Ukraine because to control the Ukraine, to stop the Ukraine entering into the NATO. Russia does not want Ukraine to enter into the NATO, and unnecessarily it will start shielding, screening of the Russia. This is what was going on. Then Russia is also looking for the Russian people, not Ukrainian people, Russian people who are living in Ukraine as the permanent resident, or the kind of as a local out there, they should not be in trouble. So the adjoining region of Ukraine with the Russia, Russian people living out there, and more or less those regions Russia has captured 20%. So Sumy region, more or less, it is considered that it will become part of the Russia. Now Emmanuel Macron, president of France, he talked to Vladimir Putin on telephone on Tuesday. Today is Friday. So this is considered as the first time probably when Emmanuel Macron, the direct to direct discussion happened between Emmanuel Macron and Vladimir Putin on the phone. Yesterday, Thursday, yesterday Donald Trump and Putin had direct discussion on phone. Okay, and there Donald Trump has insisted that America would keep supporting Ukraine. Okay, one side Donald Trump is anxious that America is spending too much money in the Ukraine, but he has talked to the Putin that Mr. Putin that America will keep spending money in the Ukraine. Anyway, Donald Trump has cribbed. Donald Trump has cribbed Joe Biden that he has pushed a lot of money into the Ukraine, and he has given a lot of weapons to the Ukraine. And because of that only, American people are out of the job because full money what America received from the people as taxation, all money has gone to the weapon in the Ukraine anyway. But Donald Trump is supporting Ukraine the way Joe Biden was supporting. And Donald Trump is talking with the Putin in a way that he is thinking that somehow ceasefire will happen and America will finally stop giving money to the Ukraine. Anyway, Donald Trump is successful in putting the ceasefire between the India and Pakistan. Donald Trump is successful in making the ceasefire between Iran and Israel. Okay. Now, more or less, Donald Trump is successful in controlling the Hamas and Houthi fighters when the Palestinian people are starving in Gaza Strip. In that fashion, everyone is keeping quiet now. Hamas forces, they are keeping quiet because they cannot see Palestinian people live in this manner when they do not have food at all. Same way Houthi, everyone is stunned now. Everyone is stunned around the globe when people are not able to eat. Children are dying without milk. Children are dying without the food. Everyone is stunned. But anyway, this is considered as a victory for Donald Trump. Now Donald Trump, when he has made a big victory of passing the big beautiful bill in the Congress or Parliament of the United States, now Donald Trump is moving towards its third site now. India, Pakistan, Israel, Iran, Israel, Iran, Israel, Hamas, Israel, Houthi. Now, Donald Trump is moving toward the Russia and Ukraine, and he is thinking that he will be successful there also. I don't know, he will get Nobel Peace Prize or not. I don't know, but he is thinking that this will come to a feather in his hat that he is successful in Israel and Ukraine and Russia ceasefire also. But uh, anyway, after the discussion with Mr. Putin, Donald Trump has said that it doesn't look like that war can be ended that soon, the way he was thinking earlier. Anyway, Putin has reiterated to Donald Trump that this Ukraine has to stop his demand entering into NATO. This is what Russia wants. Ukraine cannot enter into NATO. That is the one thing. and whatever the area of the Ukraine that Russia has ceded, that Russia will get it. It will not go back to the Ukraine. If this is the precondition that America understand, then Russia is again ready to make a ceasefire discussion. Anyway, secondary things are also there, that there should not be any sanction on the Russia. America has put lot of sanction on Russia. So America has to lift off all the sanction against Russia. Anyway, these are cold news only. There is a hotter news now. 9th July 2025. Today is 5th. Today is 4th of the July. 9th of the July, 5 days after now, 5 days post 4th of the July, that is 9th July. 9th July, there will be announcement of retaliatory tax against each country. That is under 90 days postponement. On 9th of the April, the announcement that had to happen, has to happen, but that got postponed for 90 days, and 10% basic tariff was applied on all the country. 9th of the July, every country retaliatory taxes. If India is charging 56% against United States, then United States going to announce 27% against the India. 9th July, that is the hottest day that people will see around the globe as far as 47th tenure of Donald Trump. 9th July 2025. New thing that is appearing on the 9th of July 2025 is called transshipment tax. That is the new tax called transshipment tax. One is called secondary tariff. People know secondary tariff. Like there is secondary tariff on Russia, secondary tariff on Venezuela, secondary tariff on Iran. Means anyone who will do trade with the Iran, Venezuela and Russia, America will put higher tariff on that. That is secondary tariff. There is called transshipment tariff. If any country has, like, if India is going to make 0% tariff on the America now, 0%. If American products are entering into Indian market, they did not give any entry tax. They have to give sales taxes. It is as good as they are produced in India, as good as that, 0%. In that way, India is expecting 0% tax from the America also, so that any product that is manufactured in India, it will enter into American market with 0% tax. This is what is the trade deal that is going on between India and America, and that has to be finalized soon so that Donald Trump would declare it on 9th of the July. This is considered as a cornerstone in the trade deal between India and America, and this is set to take away many countries' investment as far as American investment is concerned or Chinese investment is concerned. If India is going to say 0% tax, many American companies, they will leave the China and Southeast Asia like Vietnam, Malaysia, and they will enter into India because of 0% tax, and then 0% tax back to the US. So they will produce their product in India, means whatever the precursor, whatever the pre-requirement of producing product in India, that they will ship from US to India without any tax. Then they will produce in India and they will ship it back to US, and it will enter into US without any custom tariff. So this way, means all companies, that there will be a flood of company that will enter into America. Chinese company, American company, Russian company, European Union company, and India will get lot of benefit because of this. What is the bottleneck? Bottleneck is transshipment tax, that is transshipment tariff that Donald Trump is introducing on 9th of the July. If Chinese company are producing product in India and they are writing made in India and it is entering into US, then it will have different taxation because it will not be considered as made in India, because company is Chinese company. If American company, England Rover, I believe Land Rover, Jaguar Land Rover is a car company in England, and they have given some contract in Tata Motors or somewhere to manufacture auto parts. Many American car company, they have given contract to Indian company to make the auto part, and there in auto part it will be written made in India and it will enter into America as made in India. That will not be considered. It will be considered as made in UK only and made in America only. I'm not saying that they will charge as per UK or America. but there will be different rate for the transshipment tariff. As a transshipment tariff, if product is made in India, and those are foreign companies, there is a something, there is a kind of a bottleneck is or showstopper we saw that is appearing between India and US. US is saying you can write, I'm going to make the tariff as made in India if the product has 60% of its engineering based in India. Then only it will be made, will consider made in India. If it is less than 60%, means if Chinese company is investing in India and all the technology is Chinese technology, that is obvious. And then the many product, many part will be come from China only. Only assembly you do in India, so that it will be made in India. That's it. So that they will save the tax. That will not work. 60% has to be Indian only. India is bargaining for 35%. Means Indian part will be 35% and 65% will be foreign part. So that should also be agreed upon. There it is something like that. The bargaining is going on. Indian Foreign Minister, Mr. S. Jaishankar, now he has asked for the time with Donald Trump to discuss personally. Mr. Jaishankar would travel to United States White House, and there he will have direct discussion with Donald Trump prior to 9th of the July, and then he will have direct discussion with Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of the Commerce, and then Scott Bessent, Secretary for the Treasury, and then they will finalize this transshipment tariff that is going on, and they will finalize the import tariff also, because India is set to make import tariff 0%. If America is agreed for the 35% what India is saying, and import tariff for the India is coming to 0 or 10%, then there will be a flood of companies it will enter into India. That is for sure. I don't know what will happen to Indian people, but Indian government will earn a lot, earn a lot, because the sales tax will work there also, and tons of money. Probably it will come to trillion, 1 trillion or $2 trillion. I believe they will get annually with the sales taxes with this company. Anyway, it is pending now, and it is coming as a red news that Donald Trump has denied meeting S. Jaishankar. Donald Trump was in G7 meeting in Canada, and there he did not meet Indian Prime Minister. He came back to USA to meet Pakistani army chief and ISI chief, but he did not bother to meet Indian Prime Minister, who visited Canada to meet Donald Trump only. Then Indian Prime Minister called him up through phone, and they had 35-minute discussion. Now Indian Prime Minister is in Brazil, is en route to Brazil to have a discussion with Chinese President and Putin. Then Putin and Chinese President there again they have cancelled meeting to going to the Brazil. Now S. Jaishankar he has asked for time to meet Donald Trump. Then Donald Trump has cancelled meeting with the S. Jaishankar. This is floating as a very big news, because if whatever India wants trade deal with America, if it is passes through, then India is going to get amazing money. Okay, I won't say Indian people will be benefited, because if you keep doing foreign work, then what your indigenous industry will grow up. Finally, you will lose only. But in the short duration, Indian government will earn a lot. Anyway, now anyway, Indian government has denied this, that Donald Trump has had denied meeting S. Jaishankar. Indian government has denied it. There is no news like that, that there is a denial to meet S. Jaishankar. But this news is floating now. Anyway, we are in wait and watch mode. What is going to happen? And let's see that prior to 9th July only, if we get news that how much is the tariff that America has declared on the India, when India is saying 0%, and then what is the transshipment tariff that America is declaring on India. Number three, what is the percentage? America is saying 60% should be actually made in India, where India is testing on 35%. Anyway, this is how it is. We will see now.